There's nothing stranger than coming out in the morning and realizing your truck is missing.
I looked from the balcony down into the driveway, and my truck was gone. There was a rectangular dry spot and wet all around it.
It was a Jeep Cherokee.
It was an 81 Subaru wagon.
It was a Mazda 626.
I went back inside, waited a minute, and came back out, hoping it would be back.
And I looked in a couple different places and finally realized it was gone.
I went back in the house and stood there for about 60 seconds, and then I came back out and looked again, and it was still gone.
I left work at 4 to go to the bank and make a deposit. I parked my car at about 4:30, went inside to go to work, left at 6:15, and it was gone.
I called the police, and they took a report over the phone. They asked if I owned the truck outright. Had I loaned it to someone and forgotten? Was I having any family problems?
And so then they told me that they couldn't take a report at the time, and they asked me if they could call me back in a couple hours.
I can't figure out why they stole my truck. There's much nicer cars in the neighborhood. At least my truck's insured, and it's insured with AAA. They're so good about giving you a tow or jumping your car, I should have no problems.
My car was found 5 days later at the Topless Bar in Northwest Portland.
It's a strange feeling to be driving around. I keep thinking I'm going to see it someplace, a parking lot or something.
I was driving home about 3.5 weeks after the car was stolen, and I spotted it 6 blocks from my house, which is 10 miles from where the car was stolen.
I got a call from the police about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I said, "Great, you found my truck." And he said, "Well, sort of."
Called the officers. Officer came out, asked them if we should wait around the corner or wait there for the guy that obviously stole it. She says, "No, let's just get the car out of here."
Inside the car we found stolen clothes, his high school transcript, and naked pictures of his girlfriend.
Some hypodermic needles, some wallets that were obviously stolen, and a bunch of clothes.
Wrappers from food and ashes from cigarettes and grease. Looked like people had lived in my car for those 5 days.
This thing has been with me for many years. God, look at that. Oh, this really just, oh, God, it pisses you off, though. Oh, man. Where they hit it. Well, I guess I should be happy that I insured it. The high point is it could look like this.
And then he said, "I have a question I need to ask you." And I said, "Well, what?" He said, "Well, when was the last time you saw it?" I said, "About midnight." And then he said, "Well, were there any, like, shotgun blasts or big bullet holes in it the last time you saw it?" When I first saw it, I wasn't ready for it. I had heard that it had been shot, but I wasn't ready for it was blown apart. They shot the seats, they shot the glove compartment box, they shot everything, and everything I had in there, I found a little piece of it all over. It was just confetti.
I got a phone call from the police the next day, and he was telling me that the guy wanted his stuff back, and so I had to take it down to the police station.
Yeah, I sent the car out for detailing because it was just a mess. The detailer called me the next day, and he found a prescription that was just a day or two old with the fellow's name and the doctor's name on it.
I took the stuff down to the police station at a designated time, and I met the officer that was in charge of the case. And when he came out to get the stuff, he said, "Why don't you come with me right now down to Pioneer Courthouse Square, because the guy that stole your car is down there." And I had expressed a concern that he might come to our neighborhood again, and so he wanted me to see what he looked like.
I called the police, talked to a detective there, asked them if they wanted the prescription with the names on it so he could follow up on it, and he told me just to destroy it because they just didn't have time to follow up on all these little details.
So I got in the back of his police car, and we drove up to Pioneer Courthouse Square, and I sat in the back seat, and he got out and went over to the guy and was real buddy-buddy with him, put his arm around him, and they were kind of kidding back and forth. And it kind of made me mad because here I was in the back of the police car, and here he was, you know, jostling with this guy who had just stolen my car and had gotten away.
what my insurance company's going to say. I thought the worst was over. Then I learned about claims adjusters. Insurance companies never have your agent handle your claim because your agent's supposed to be your friend. The claims adjuster is not. We spent a week negotiating. He offered $1,000. I said, hi, book is $2,000. He said it wouldn't bring book. I showed him $800 in receipts. He said it was too rough. I just driven it to LA and back, no problems. He said it had 100,000 miles on it. It was just broken in. What about the dents in the red door? They're intentional. We finally settled on $1,500 minus the deductible. And when I came to drop off the title, he tried to tell me what a good deal I had just gotten. Show me a $1,500 car, I can drive to LA. He then berated me for driving a Japanese car. We defeated them in World War II, now they're taking over. You should be ashamed of yourself. I took the money.
Fair. This is an insurance company we're talking about.
They never pressed any charges because, I don't know, they just didn't. They didn't think it was a high priority.
Oh, of course not. No one was arrested. But they retrieved it. The police were proud of that. They retrieve cars here in Portland. They don't catch the crooks.
I got enough for a down payment on another car.
The coup de grace was delivered 1 month later by the mailman. Dear Mr. Baker, we are sorry to advise that as a result of the loss on your policy, it will be necessary to endorse your policy to the regular select rate. This will take place at your next renewal date. This change will result in a premium increase. After a 3-year period, you may once again apply for the special select rate. We sincerely hope that you have been pleased with Auto Club's service and are looking forward to providing your insurance needs in the future. Thank you. Very truly yours, Ellen Lewis. Dear Ellen, it was really stupid of me to leave my truck locked and parked in front of my house. I'm sorry. I don't know, but it's really kind of depressing to see this thing here. I remember it in its better days. You know what this means, though? I'm never going to be able to do one of those Toyota 200,000 mile commercials with my truck.